All right. I think it worked.
I think we're live.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Yeah? Hi. Are you good?
I think so.
All right.
Let's go. We're live.
All right, we're live. Here we go. Hitting the repost. Here we go. All right, we're live. Let's go. Anything to avoid talking about the Guardians. That's where we're at right now. No, that's all right. Right? People in this town don't know how to drive in the rain. We deal with the snow.
It was so bad this morning.
And it's like the rain, and then now you've got the combo of like school. So traffic is 10 times worse with getting kids to school and all that kind of stuff. All right, we're here. We're live. We're a few minutes late. It's all good. We appreciate everybody joining us as always this morning. Might not be the show we want to start with because we got to talk about the Guardians, dude. Oh my God. I have a grim picture to paint with some of the things that I read off of SI.com this morning about the Guardians. Quan in a hole, the Bats in a hole, another damn. They could have finished another 3 innings by the time that rain hit downtown yesterday. I didn't even stay up to watch it. Woke up, all my bets fried. We're tied. We're tied. We're tied. And it's like a combo, right? The Guardians are playing fine, but the Royals are on this hot streak. Castrovins had the tweet this morning that they're about to become, well, I don't want to say about to because I think we're still going to win the Central. Yeah. The Royals, who lost 106 games a year ago, could become the first team ever to lose 100 games one year and win the division next year. That's not happening. We're still winning the damn division, all right? And he said they're on pace to improve their win total by 35, which would fall one shy of a record set by the 1903 Giants. Not those Giants, the other Giants. So the Royals are hot. Guardians not playing all that well. I've got some concerning stats with the Guards. Plenty of football to get to this morning. The 53 cut down is on. They had the 4 quarterbacks. It's not going to stay that way. We know that. Ton of Browns this morning. Head over to CBS Sports. AFC North positional and coaching rankings for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, offensive line tight, literally every single position for the AFC North. Rank those. We'll get to the quarterbacks. Evan Abrams going to join us at 10 o'clock this morning from the Action Network. We got college betting to get with him. I emailed Evan because I think he's like a director at the Action Network. So he knows everything. So we'll do a little NFL betting with him as well. And I've got a potential first-round pick to find his way to the Cleveland Browns after roster cutdowns. We'll get to the Guardians. We got the bracket. Not the bracket. We'll do the grid. We'll do the morning update. We got Evan. We got Tom up. We got it all on a beautiful Wednesday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. You good?
Yes, I'm wonderful now, actually.
Now we're good. So it's like Ryan texts, and I said, be safe, man. I'll start the show 10 minutes late if you're safe. My dad has a great saying. He instilled in me when I started driving. I will do the same to you as a father, and I will do the same to my kid. You'll get there when you get there. Don't need to be weaving in and out of traffic. It's rainy. People don't know how to drive in the rain in this town. I don't know why. You will get there when you get there. So I'm happy you're here. And then, of course, when we start, we had technical difficulties. But that's all right. We're here. We're live. We're started. We're ready to go.
When it rains, it pours, dude. When it comes to, like, difficulties.
If I said that, you would not let that go.
When it rains, it pours?
It's raining outside. You were late because it was raining.
Oh, because it was a bad pun?
Yeah, you would not let that slide.
No, I would have
on
let
me.
that one slide.
You would not let that slide. I would have
let that one slide because it's a good Luke Combs song.
Don't lie.
It's a good Luke Combs song.
You would have not let that slide.
Matt, that's not even in the stratosphere of the ones
I'm not saying it's not, but we're on a sliding scale here. I am in the upper echelon of dad puns. You're working your way there, which I appreciate. We got a lot to get to, but we can go no further without reminding you about our giveaway. Foursome Saturday, our golf outing. You want to win it, you got to go retweet at Matt Fontana Show. All you got to do is hit the retweet. We are going to select our winner at the end of the show. We're going to DM them right away to make sure they can make it. I've had people say, pick me. I'm ready to go. I got my 4 guys. Because that's another thing. We'll pick somebody we might have to make an announcement later that person can't actually go or something.
I love how people though, like whenever somebody does a giveaway, they're like, "Oh, in the comments, please pick me, please." Like I like the energy, but it doesn't work like that.
It's a little vibe. I know, but hey, it's a little vibe check, which I appreciate. The other thing that I hope maybe happens, if we pick somebody and they like have 3 but not 4, jump in the comment section. Jump in the comment section. You might not have ever met, I don't know, Jason in the comments, right? Bring him to the golf outing. We're about a community here. We like creating a community.
Yeah.
So I want 4 people to go just to enjoy the golf and get the free stuff and the hats and the swag and the beer and all that. So if you win it later and you're like, man, I got one other guy, but I have 2 people open, hit the comment section, man. We'd love that. I would love that so much. I want to fill that foursome up. I want to give it out to everybody. Thanks to Dave and Ken for giving that to us. So again, just go to @MattFontana Show, where you can watch the show every morning anyway. Hit the retweet. I retweeted already once this morning. I'm going to do it again right now. I can't win. Ryan can't win. You know, Dave retweeted it. Padone doesn't get to go. Well, he'll be there anyway. I'm hitting the retweet. So, again, go check it out @MattFontana Show. Just hit the retweet. Be following the show. That's it. And we will contact our winner when we announce that a little bit later in the show. So happy to have you along. I'm going to get to the Browns because I need them as a bit of, like, catharticism this morning. Like, the Guardians, it's so bad because Gavin Williams gives up those 2 runs and you feel like the game is over. Like, you just feel like there's no coming back with this lineup right now. And there's a couple things at foot with this, okay? I got a lot of this off SI this morning about really a little bit of a deep dive on some of the issues with the Guardians more recently. One of the ones for a team, and I can't pull up the exact stats, I couldn't find them, but with runners in scoring position, since the All-Star break, with what the Guardians went into in the All-Star break, batting with runners in scoring position, our team batting average is down 50 points. Our slugging percentage was cut in half with runners on scoring position, right? And I think it's been a trend that you've seen about how many guys are we leaving on? Did we have the bases freaking loaded yesterday? God. I'm entering a bad spot with Lane Thomas. And he just got here. But for the love of God, man.
It's a big trade. That was our big trade deadline move.
You know, our biggest move was calling up John Kenzie Noel. God. You want to talk Quan? Let's talk Quan. All right? So yesterday, Vogt goes, hey, they're pitching him different. Do you think, man? Seriously, Stephen Vogt said this about Stephen Quan. He goes, well, they're starting to pitch him different. Is that against the rules? Are you not supposed to do that?
How dare them?
How dare them? How dare them pitch Stephen Quan differently? And I'm trying not to yell at Quan. I love Stephen Quan. I like Stephen Vogt. There's a stat about batting average of balls put in play. The BABIP is what it's called. The BABIP. The BABIP. Sounds like something off of Seinfeld. The BABIP. The baboosh. Or the, oh man, what was the dessert?
I don't know.
Oh my God. What was the carrot? There was a dessert that they, oh my God. You know what I'm talking about, that episode?
I haven't seen all of Seinfeld.
I haven't either, but it's a famous episode. The chocolate and the babka, that's it. I knew it was a B.
The babka.
So they were like going, there was a bakery that had like a babka that everybody freaked out about. And they went to go get chocolate and they're in line and they go, we just sold the chocolate babka, and they freak out and they go, well, we have cinnamon. And Jerry goes off. He goes, cinnamon is back to, second to no one. So they got the cinnamon babka. But no, I don't have that. I have the BABIP for Stephen Quan. Batting average on balls put in play. So the whole point is, when he's putting it in play, he was an astounding 371 when he put the ball in play. It felt like he was going to get a hit almost every at bat. It's dropped to 198 almost 200 points on his batting average when the ball is put in play. Then, what was one thing that we marveled about Stephen Kwan? He never swung and missed. He set a record in his rookie year with the most pitches seen without swinging and missing. It's gone. And Vogt goes, well, yeah, they're pitching him different. Okay. Like, I mean, what do you, it's like, golly, man. And you want to know the worst part? We're making the playoffs. Oh, my. I guess anything's on the plate on the table at this point. We're making the playoffs. I know that, but it feels like you have just pissed this season away. And it's hard because if nobody expected this. You have two teams battling for supremacy in the AL Central that everybody counted out. Everybody thought the Twins were just going to run away with this division. And look, it's us and the Royals. Two great stories, two mid-market teams. I love it. But it's like you feel so, again, angry and pissed off because you had this lead, you squandered it. I can see exactly the reasons why we can't hit anymore. We can't hit anymore. And you put all your eggs in the basket of Gavin Williams and Alex Cobb when he comes back, and it's just, it seems futile. They're getting Klubered. They have to go out there and be perfect. Klubered. That's it.
That's a verb.
I want, of all these stats that they come up with, and I'm sure there is a stat, I just want it to be called Kluber when a pitcher has a quality start and still loses, right? When you go, what is it? What's a quality start? Is it 6 innings, less than 3 runs?
That sounds quality to me.
5 less than 2, I think, something like that, and you still lose the game, that's getting Kluber. I'm sure we lead the league in that at this point, but I mean, like, again, Gavin Williams, you had the rain delay, whatever. But I just, all this stuff, and it's guys, again, I yell at Lane Thomas. It's like, what do you want, man? Like, it's hard to not look at this stuff about Kwan.
Yeah.
26% of the balls that Kwan hit ahead of the All-Star break were classified as line drives. You always want to hear that with your leadoff guy, non-power hitter, line drive. He's down below 19% now. What does that tell you? He's trying to hit bombs, man. He's no longer a line drive hitter. He's trying to hit home runs. And that's probably what screwed him up at this point. Well, 1 o'clock today. We'll get back on it. I mean, it's like, I want to get angry. I just don't know how to do it, but it's frustrating because the bats have just gone. And the thing is, yeah, you could turn it around quick. You've got winnable series coming up. You're right back against Kansas City after you go to Pittsburgh. But the problem is now the pressure is starting. You're feeling that fist start to close, and these guys are, I know, feeling it. And what you need an off day, and what do you got, right? You got one tomorrow. Okay, is that what you need to reset everything and try to get back after it? You know, the other problem too with the Guardians is how they play in the division. That's another thing I was reading this morning, right? We couldn't even beat up on the White Sox when we had that opportunity. You didn't take advantage of beating the Tigers. Now, it does come down to the Royals and the Twins, and those series will mean so much more. But now, what used to be a staple, was there not a time, was it not last year, maybe the year prior, weren't the Guardians at one point in the season like 27-3 against the division? Not this year, and I don't think it was last year. There was some year that they had some insane stat of 30 games in the division. They were like 27. I might be making that up. I don't remember, but it's like we used to kill the division. You used to get fat on the division. And now you can't. And now, I'll tell you this, they are in a hole. Before, you thought, maybe we'll get back out of this. Everybody in Cleveland knows how to get stuck out of a snow hole, right? You got to rock it. You got to rock it. Dude, so quick funny story. So one of my roommates from college, and we lived together in an apartment after college, he wasn't from Ohio, but he was from D.C., so I thought they got snow. And I'm sitting up in our apartment. And
D.C. doesn't get snow?
I don't know, because here's the story. So he calls me. I'm in my apartment, and he goes, dude, my car's stuck. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm in the parking lot of our apartment. We had like a little thing where you would go up on a curb, like right on the street, and you just park your car there. He goes, I'm stuck. Oh, God. So I put my boots on. I go down there. And he's sitting there. And he had a Ford Explorer. It was, I thought, four-wheel drive. I don't know. So he's sitting there, and he's just hammering. He's just gunning it. And I go, stop. You're just making your... And I get out of the car. Get out of the car. And in 2 seconds, I rock it up, rock it back, pull it in the spot. I get out of the car. He goes, well, I feel like less of a man right now. I go, how do you not know to rock your car out of a snowdrift? You can't just hammer reverse. You got to get up. You got to go back. Got to get up. Got to go back. The Guardians are in this hole. I need them to rock out of this thing. It starts with a little momentum. You probably fall back. You get some more, and then you finally get out of the hole. They are in the deepest hole that they've been all season. And we know the stats that they're playing below 500 since the All-Star break and all that other kind of stuff. I have a fear that they don't have enough momentum left to rock out of this fucking hole.
Yeah, I know we love to gauge the feelings of our audience.
That's what we do, man.
They are not very optimistic at all.
I don't blame you.
Jeff says, Matt, you're delusional. They're not making the playoffs.
No, Jeff, I appreciate. I know. Trust me, I get it. They have a 95% chance to make. They'll make the wild card.
He said, I said a month ago,
7-game lead on Boston. But you know what, Jeff? You might be right, man.
Alex says deadline was such a bust. Everyone tried to act like it was okay, but we knew the front office failed.
Yep.
Mike on Twitter.
Is Lane Thomas that bad? Seriously. Because I know when we traded for him, I had people that were Nationals fans go like, hey, man, that's actually a pretty good trade for you guys.
Yeah, here's the thing. When he got traded to the Guardians, he was that was on the heels of his 25 on base streak, which at the point was the longest current in the majors.
And stealing base. I mean, he's not getting on base to steal bases anymore. But, like, and I get that there was probably inherent pressure on him. Like, dude, we're a playoff contending team, and you are kind of our big moon. I guess Alex Cobb, too. But, like, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody to walk into a clubhouse and everybody goes, yeah, man, this guy's going to save our asses.
You'll probably know what this means. I don't, and I'm showing my age here, but that's okay. Glenn says Lane Thomas equals Jeff Kent, 1996.
Yeah, Jeff Kent.
What's the lore?
So, Jeff, I'm assuming he's talking about, I remember Jeff Kent from the Astros. He's talking about when he came to Cleveland. That was 96, I think. And a deadline deal made to the 1996 trade deadline. The Mets had Jeff Kent and Jose Vizcaíno. I've not thought about that name in a while. To the Indians for Alvaro Espinoza and Carlos Baerga. So that was a tough one. Let me see what Jeff Kent batted with the Indians in 1996. Can I pull that up for you?
Yeah, another one I don't understand, but you're going to have to explain to me. Mike says
he batted .265 in 39 games, had 3 home runs. So that's probably what they're talking about there. Yeah.
Still better than Lane Thomas right now. Mike says
he would. By the way, Jeff Kent would leave Cleveland, go to San Francisco, where he would win the MVP 3 years later and be a 3-time All-Star.
That sounds like the Yandy Diaz special. Go lead the league in batting after you trade him.
Yeah.
Mike says, I don't know what this means. Well, I know what part of it means, but he says, by the way, I'm sure they can't send him to Columbus, but the next time Barlow should see the mound is it a blowout when we have no other options. Guy has one pitch and walked way too many guys. We were in it until Vogt brought him in. This is what I don't understand. He says, then boom, Ernie Camacho is laughing at him.
Another player, probably, I think even before my time with Ernie Camacho. I think he's assuming I'm talking about one pitch. Barlow doesn't throw his fastball anymore, which I think is weird. I can't even rip on Scott Barlow anymore. It's like, what are you going to do? We really just need to kind of like, just flush this out, man. It's so hard.
I don't know about this one. Brian says should never have let Ahmed Rosario go.
Dude, I mean, it's, Ahmed Rosario, because he got DFA'd again, didn't he? You see Jason Hayward got it's like,
oh, okay, we got some optimism.
All right, I appreciate it.
Grills, whoever said they're not making the playoffs, they don't know what they're talking about. They own the tiebreaker over the Red Sox and the Mariners, and they still have to play the
Right, they're making the playoffs. And I think that's an interesting question of, like, would you feel let down if you made it? Like, at the beginning of the year, which is so hard because, like, you go back and forth on how this season went. Ryan, if I told you in spring training that you were going to make the playoffs, nobody would have complained.
Right. It's all about
everybody would have said great. But then
it's the same thing that happened with the Cavs. They got so hot, they were the 2 seed, and you're like, holy crap,
you're
this team's
like,
good.
Wow.
They slide down to the seed you projected them at, and it seems like it's a disappointment.
And it seems like a failure. Exactly. 100%. The thing is, I'm not going to apologize for that. Like, I changed my expectations.
Because you know they can do it.
Because I know they can do it. And it's like, were they playing above? I almost think like, we talk about WAR, right? They were playing above what they should have. And I think they really woke up, unfortunately, and realized they were playing above. And yeah, there was something about the Royals didn't have their footing yet. Now they really do. And they have been storming. Because the other thing, I can sit here and complain about the Guardians. You have got to give credit to the Royals. You got to give credit to the Royals. I don't want to do it, but you got to give credit to them, man. They are on a heat-seeking mission at this point. And that's another problem. I can look at these stats. I can look how we're playing. It's the mindset. It's the how I watch this team. And I know that it's infecting the clubhouse. Dude, I'm a fan. I'm sitting here this pissed off. How do you think the team is handling this?
I wanted to put a question out there.
Do whatever you want.
I want your help in coming up with all the choices. Like, what's been the most surprising part of this slide? Like, is it Quan?
Quan.
I think that's going to be the answer.
Quan. I mean, you can do it. You can say Quan. You can say the bullpen all of a sudden now has cracks in it. I guess you could say starting pitching. Josh Naylor. Naylor's got to be on that list for you. It's got to be.
Yes.
The answer, I don't know,
Stephen Quan.
Stephen Quan, Josh Naylor. Okay, man.
What else?
You put Stephen Vogt on.
I thought about that. Stephen Vogt's managerial decisions.
Some of these are rare in their head, man. Some of these are you're sending that guy back out there. I think you have to put the bullpen in there. Because, again, they're still elite.
Bullpen showing cracks.
Dude, that was the exact headline this morning on SI. I swear to God, that was the exact headline this morning on SI.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah, I like it. We'll put it out. We're a great Twitter. We're a great show. We're a great follow. Ryan's great. I'm okay. It's all works out, man. That's how it goes. Vote, retweet for our foursome as well. Up at Matt Fontana Show. I'll hit the retweet on that. We got to cast our votes, man.
I'm going Quan.
I think it's Quan. Now, the thing is, it's like a lot of this stuff, man. He was like up here, man. Like, he was stratosphere, bro. And
we're talking about him batting 350.
It's like, but for Vogt to go, I want to find this quote, man.
That's crazy. They're pitching to him different. They're not allowed. How dare them?
SI had a lot of great Guardian stuff this morning. But I take that back. They had a lot of Guardian stuff. It wasn't good stuff, but it was a lot of stuff.
Good criticism.
It was a lot of stuff. All right, here it is. For Quan, this is from Stephen Vogt. It's a lot of maybe a little bit. A lot of maybe a little bit. I swear to God. It's maybe a little bit of timing and pitch selection. Quan is getting pitched differently than he has. I think teams aren't just going right after him. They're pitching to him. For any hitter that's going through a little bit of a downswing, you're trying to do more. You're trying to go and combat. Yes, they're going to. And I guess, like, that not having that two-hitter, right? They're going to stare at Will Brennan in the 2-0, and they go, well, we're going to just go after Quan because even if he gets on, we don't have a real fear of that. Comes back to who? Me jumping on Lane Thomas's ass. And the same thing. Naylor's not protecting Jose Ramirez. And I hope he breaks out. And that's kind of the magic of, like, Josh Naylor, is that he comes up in these spots. Do you have any fear when Josh Naylor steps in the box anymore? I don't. So teams are going to pitch differently. And it's like, again, I'm angry. I don't want to go after these guys this way, but Vogt goes, oh, they're pitching them differently. You're allowed to do that. It's not against the rules to do that. All right, our question is up. I got to move on from the Guards. I just got to find some peace somewhere else. So we go to the Browns. Yeah, nice job. 53-man is out. And I will admit, because I don't run from anything, I was wrong on Justin Hardy. I thought he was making this roster. He doesn't. 53 is set. Not any, and that's the nice thing, man. Nothing was shocking on this. I was happy to see Nathaniel Watson make it battling his injury. They kept a lot of the DBs, but now the moves get on. And I think everybody stares at the 4 quarterbacks thing. You, me, this water bottle, everybody knows they're not starting the season with 4 quarterbacks on the roster. But the other teams, are they now in a rush to try to trade for Tyler Huntley? Because what happened yesterday, the world, I want to say got set on fire, but people were saying, oh, they might trade Jameis Winston. And I go with what Noah tweeted yesterday. Yeah, write that down. Try to get Noah on for tomorrow. I'd love to talk about this. Noah, they're reporting, they're not trading Jameis Winston, okay? They're not.
Yeah,
And I get that they were probably... Here's the game. Can I tell you what's going on with this game right now? Barry wants it to be sounding like we want to keep all of these guys and they're all available. That drums up conversation about the trades, right? And yeah, the love that they're professing about Dorian Thompson-Robinson, that's if a team comes calling, it's not, man, we love him. We don't want to trade him. We know it's Tyler Huntley. Now, the issue is anything really going to change between now and next week of a team calling for Tyler Huntley? I don't know. But you know, if you released him, you get nothing back. And yeah, you're fighting for what? A 7th-round draft pick, a 6th-round draft pick. That's fine. Oh, they only kept 2 running backs. D'Onta Foreman has not left Cleveland. I'm not reporting that. I just know that for common sense. When you release a veteran, they are not subject to waivers.
Right.
So D'Onta Foreman can literally sit in Cleveland. Even if another team calls, he says, no, I'm going back to Cleveland. And then they can trade away Tyler Huntley and they bring back D'Onta Foreman. That's what's going to happen there. But they got to find somebody that'll pick up Tyler Huntley. That's kind of my fear, is that there might not be something that happens in the next week or so to facilitate that trade. You know who got cut. You know the quarterbacks that are out there. Now, the thing is, of the list of quarterbacks released, Tyler Huntley would be the best, right? Was anybody like Bailey Zappi doesn't do it for me? Like
Josh Rosen,
Matt Corral, Sam Hartman. Did you see that graphic of that 2022 draft class, buddy? Whew.
of quarterbacks?
Like Pickett, Corral, Malik Willis, like all of them. Do you see that? Not conspiracy theory, but it was the Will Levis, Sean Clifford, Malik Willis circle of things here. So Sean Clifford was the quarterback at Penn State. Will Levis was his backup at Penn State before he transferred. Malik Willis was Will Levis's backup in Tennessee. Then Malik Willis got traded to the Packers, who cut Sean Clifford for Malik Willis. See that? Like that little roundabout that we go?
Circle of life.
It's how it goes, man. But Tyler Huntley is the best available of available quarterbacks. You just got to wait your time out there and see how it goes. So again, the quarterback thing, I'm not worried about. The running back thing, they will pick up another tight end. They only started with the 2. I was shocked.
Yeah, Zaire Mitchell-Patton.
I was really kind of surprised with that. He'll be subject to waivers. They'll get these guys back on the practice squad. Tight end is one of those positions that they elevate a lot coming off the practice squad, right? It always seems like it's a DB for special teams, tight end type. Yeah, you need your quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff, but they'll have 3 on the roster already. So it's just the games. And again, I know a lot of people saw this yesterday of the initial 53 versus the 53 that you actually take versus Dallas. It's going to be a lot of changes between now and then. And we ran through a lot of the moves, like Siaki Ika, you cannot be surprised with that. And I hope they bring him back to the practice squad.
Yeah.
Bring him back, see if there's some development there. I don't know, man. That was a miss, certainly. I was surprised on Bell making it, but not all that surprised.
I'd like to pour one out for Juwan Briggs.
He'll be back.
Somebody gonna pick him up.
If the Bengals pick him up, man, I'm gonna be pissed.
He's a Bearcat.
I know. I saw it from Rapine. I saw it from the Bengalorian. All those guys are over Juwan Briggs. If they take him, man, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna drive down there and pour a bowl of Skyline chili in their face.
That's assault.
That's assault, brother. Dare you to touch your boob? That's assault, brother. Do you double dare me? I'd just rather pour it on the ground, to be honest with you. It's just kind of, anyway. We got to get our bet going with those guys. Season's right around the corner.
Did you notice? I don't know if you saw my tweet about this. I thought this was rather interesting. That when they put out the 53 roster.
Oh, yes, I did. I saw your tweet.
Every position was alphabetical order because they couldn't stand the fact of putting Deshaun Watson below. I'm serious, because you would have been last on the list.
I saw your tweet.
And it would have been like a depth chart. Like it would have been not good. I thought that was hilarious.
If we are so concerned,
but that was
his
intentional.
Parking spot, we're to the level of somebody takes Deshaun's parking spot, he's going to get pissed off about it. Is that
intentional? That was very intentional.
No, I don't think so about that. I mean,
every group but quarterback.
I think they left Tyler. They wanted Tyler Huntley at the end because they want it clear and obvious that they're trying to trade him. I could spin it that way.
No, that's exactly why.
I could spin it that way if you want. No, I mean, again, the 53. That's the nice thing. You kind of knew exactly where it was going to be. You know, Michael Hall officially now on the commissioner's exempt list. And with that, he cannot be there. He cannot practice. and I didn't really want to devote a lot of time to this conversation because we know what alleged to have happened. We know where we're at. That's the kind of stuff that derails a career. And I'm not saying that it shouldn't, right? What he did was very serious. The NFL stepped in and they said, you can't play football right now. We need to get this figured out. Now, the question will always be, why the hell did the Browns let him practice? Why did they let him go into preseason and play? I have a conspiracy on that.
Sorry.
You're good. They knew he was going on the commissioner's exempt list. They said, we better get some football in for him now because he's not going to get a lot of football in the future.
True.
That's probably what happened. They probably knew at the end of all of this, he was going on a suspended list one way or another. We better let him get some football in now because he might be gone for a little bit. And again, I know he's going to go work out, and I'm sure he'll find a gym to go to. I'm at Anytime Fitness in Warren. Come on down. It's a great gym. I love that gym. It's awesome. I haven't been to it in months, but it's an awesome gym.
I'd shit myself if you were working out with them.
I worked out with Ben Watson one time.
Did you?
I used to go to a gym called Powerhouse in Berea, right down the road.
All the weights after he was done?
Oh, dude, he was moving some weight, man. He was moving some weight.
Did you actually work out with him?
No, I was next to him. I saw him, and I knew who he was. And he was like, the gym etiquette. He grabs a plate and whatever. And the weird thing was he wasn't signed with the Browns yet. He was like, he was after the season, but he was still a free agent, but obviously was living in Berea. So he's working out. So come on down, man. I got a gym for you. You and I can work out together. It'll be great. He'll be working out, but it's different when you're not around the team. And it's different when you're not out there at practice going up against guys. So I don't know. The commissioner's exempt list was the right thing to do. But that's something that you kind of look at and you go, that's obviously a rough start. Now we get to the offense. So really, I want to go position by position for the 53. Quarterback, I gave you your excuse there. There's no reason to be alarmed about that. They'll trade Tyler Huntley eventually. Running back, Deontay Foreman is just waiting to come back when they get a roster spot. Tight end, kind of the same thing. Wide receiver, well, Bell, fine. I was happy Jamari Thrash made it. Obviously, he was going to. That's fine. You had Bell versus Woods. No issue there. Now we get to the offensive line, which I think Javon Cohen making it was interesting for me because now with Michael Dunn on this illness list, it's the non-football illness list for him. That created a little bit of intrigue that maybe they needed that other guard with Zinter. And don't forget, Dunn has swung out and played a little tackle before. So here's your offensive line. You get Wills and Conklin off the pup. What was Conklin saying yesterday, man? He'd move over to left if needed. I think that's picking up a lot of steam. I think that's it. I've heard Mary Kay start to talk about that. You hear Conklin mention it. I think your steam is DeJuan Jones. And what have I said? DeJuan Jones is starting for you. I feel uber confident in saying DeJuan Jones is going to be starting for you. If not the whole season, definitely the start against Dallas at right tackle. You slide over Conklin. Harris making it, Hudson, Posick, Teller, Wills, Zinter, no shock. Javion Cohen was the one that I thought was a little interesting, but it's like he basically just took Michael Dunn's spot. You know what I'm saying? Because he was on the illness list, okay? You flip over to D-line, not a shock to be had. And in fact, I think I aced all those guys. Every one of those guys with Hall going on commissioner's exempt. I thought Briggs might make it, but he didn't. Then the linebackers, again, no shock. Diabate was going to make it. Fields, Nathaniel Watson was the little shock. The biggest one for me was the safeties. The fact that D'Anthony Bell made it. Again, I missed on Hardy, but I had Halasi making it in one of my other ones if Newsom would have started on PUP. Pretty chalk, right? Outside of, again, maybe Halasi versus Hardy. Bell versus somebody else. That's it. And now, the roster manipulation starts where I would imagine even by today that you'll be fine. But, I just want to make this clear to people because I saw this a lot. Deontay Foreman's coming back, okay? There is in no world that he doesn't. I saw people, man, we kept Pierre Strong over him. No, you really didn't. Because if you would have let Pierre Strong leave, he would have been snatched up on waivers. Foreman, as the veteran, is a literal free agent. He is allowed to tell other teams no. And I would imagine the Browns will make it worth it to him when he comes back. There's no alarm to be had on Deontay Foreman. Don't worry about it. There's nothing to be afraid of on that. Now, I flip over to CBS Sports this morning, and they ran through released players and their potential fit. You know, Terrence Marshall came out of LSU. I had high hopes for him, man, second rounder. They think he goes to Buffalo because they need any receiver they can get, right? There was one on here for the Cleveland Browns, and I thought it was intriguing. I want to give credit to this article. Was this Cody Benjamin? Tyler Sullivan. Maybe reach out to Tyler. I'd like to talk to him. His fit for the Cleveland Browns. Former number 22 overall pick out of Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley, cornerback. He was in Tennessee. He has nothing but injuries. He's torn his ACL twice, once in college, and missed all of last year with a back injury. He looks like Ryan over there who's leaning over, hurting his shoulder.
No, I'm just sore. I worked out for the first time in a minute.
For our golf outing now. Oh,
no,
is that how that goes?
It'll be gone by Saturday. I'm not making excuses.
Will it?
I hit the gym to make sure my biceps are pumped up so I drive it 400 yards.
Okay, buddy. Our golf outing is Saturday. You have a chance to win your way in. A little competition between my group and Ryan's group.
Yep.
On Friday, we will set the
you
parameters. I was on the phone with my buddy Pat yesterday, man.
Competition's an interesting word to call it.
Why? Because we're just going to dust you guys?
You're going to bow out.
Are you going to go? Are you going to? How many?
You're going to hit the tiger. You're going to be a whole 12
How
and
many
have to bow
strokes are
out.
you going to give us? How many strokes do you want?
I'm not giving you any strokes.
All right, just straight up even. What if we tie? We have to go out and play a tiebreaker.
We can either do a chip off or a putt off.
I was going to say chug
Or we can
off.
just do a hole. We can do.
I was going to say usually a playoff is you go out and play a hole.
Best player versus best player, or still a 4-person scramble.
It would be fun that you pick somebody from our group and we pick somebody from your group.
Oh God, you'd pick me for sure.
Well, no, that's the thing. As long as we're back to back on the outing, we'll see each other and we'll have an idea. Really,
I'm so excited.
Well, no, it should just be you versus me because it's kind of our thing.
That's true. It
should kind of be you versus me.
That would make it that much more sweet.
Or the other thing I've done in outings, you play a par 4 and everybody has to hit a shot. So you pick who you want to tee off.
I like that. I think we'll do that.
You pick somebody who hits your second shot. And again, you could be putting for birdie, but you have to pick the order before you tee off.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, leave all those open for the tiebreaker. Back to Caleb Farley. So they write for the Browns because, again, the Titans, they don't need them. They got Awuzie, they got L'Jarius Sneed. And the ties were twofold. Number one, Tennessee, Mike Vrabel was there under him. And there's always those ties. You could get him in here on an extremely low-risk, buy-low move and add him to a talented secondary. The thing is, what's the first thing I'm going to bring up? Denzel Ward's concussion. If the Browns have a fear that this is a lasting type of thing, then maybe you go get some depth. Now, I say that to say this. I want to see Cam Mitchell play a little bit. I want to see Miles Harden play a little bit. Even Halasi. I would love to see these guys get some play out there as younger defensive backs. And one of the things I think Mary Kay mentioned this, the reason they moved on from Hardy, which again, I think he could do a practice squad, they wanted to see their young guys. So would you want to upset that to bring in a guy like Caleb Farley for a little bit of depth? Again, he's got first-round talent. And I know in the NFL, once guys get that label as a first-round guy, they get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity because, hey, man, at one point you were good enough to be a first-round pick. Is that something that could happen? Potentially. So I scrolled through that list to see, like, Samaje Perine doesn't make sense, and a couple other guys, Noah Brown, wide receiver. I wanted to see, but I thought it was interesting on Caleb Farley. Mostly the Vrabel connection. And if you get him in here and he's healthy, you say, well, maybe you don't have to play as much. Maybe you can avoid some of these injuries. Or again, you could tell me, dude, our defensive backfield is stacked. We don't need another guy in there. We'll see how it goes. But again, roster cut down, not real shocked. Foreman will be back. You won't have 4 quarterbacks. Barry's just playing the game right now. He's just putting the puzzle together. You know, the other thing I thought about, there really weren't too many guys that you needed to put on the roster to then instantly put on the IR to return. Like, all that game is up. Like, your guys are all healthy. Now, again, Ward might miss the first game. Jed Wills might not be ready to go, but it's not like you had to put Nick Chubb on the roster then to instantly put him there. you're like, if you, I guess my whole point is what I'm trying to say is that 53 could all play if you really needed them to, right? There's no other procedural moves that you need to make to open up a spot. To open up a spot, you're going to have to get rid of somebody. And maybe it's DeAnthony Bell, who they like on special teams. Again, if the Tyler Huntley trade comes, and there could be teams just waiting this out, that eventually the Browns just have to release Huntley and they can pick him up. They're kind of maybe playing the game like somebody gets worried, the suspensions, right? The Rams, they're going to be without Jimmy Garoppolo for a couple of games. I don't know. But the Winston stuff, I think, got snuffed out pretty quick. It is interesting that of the 4 quarterbacks, he is the odd one, right? He's the one that kind of doesn't fit what they want to run. But when you add in, as Noah put it, his leadership, his pregame speeches alone, but his leadership and his comfortability to Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston's spot on this team is not up for debate.
And is he not a less controversial Joe Flacco clone?
1,000%.
You know
that's
what I mean?
why he's here, right?
He's that break glass.
And then you add all this other stuff into it. That's why he's here. So I think they're just trying to drum up the interest right now. Sorry, I have not refreshed Twitter in a little bit. We might actually be getting some moves right now. We might. I have no idea. Oh, sorry, everybody's jumping on I sent the picture out of all the new signages up over at the stadium there. So that looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like update on Brandon Ayuk if you want it. The 49ers and hold-in wide receiver Brandon Ayuk remain at a standoff without a resolution. Oh, I'm sorry, a standoff. Well, the resolution with holdout Trent Williams is not close. And then Jets don't have anything with Hassan Reddick.
What a disaster.
Am I kind of glad that we didn't get Brandon Ayuk? I think I am. That's probably a good call. But, like, yeah, he wants the contract. You got to, that's the other thing, too. Browns ain't holding up for any of this. Like, we start, I want to say this, too. With the 53 now, I know there's some minor stuff. We start the season in a really good place, right? Yes, I want Nick Chubb back out there. He'll be back. You are starting this season in a really good spot. And I know there have been seasons we haven't, and there's been plenty of seasons that I've been in the same spot. And I'm like, yes, man, let's go. And it all comes crashing down. You start this season in a really good spot. You have your key players ready to go. Yes, it is all going to fall back on Deshaun Watson in the offense. We get it. But at least you're starting in a good spot. Like, I know you want Conklin or Wills. You want a little bit more of a concrete answer on those guys, but at least it's an option. I could be sitting here with one of those guys on PUP and know that they're out. You're starting in a really good spot, Browns fans. You're starting in a really good spot. Now, is that enough to be number 1 in the AFC? Ooh, do we have time for this? Evan's coming up in 10 minutes. We have all the rankings from Brian Diardo for the AFC North. So he goes position by position.
Ooh.
You want to see what we got? Let's go. Quarterback ranking.
Okay, a lot of people are different between Burrow and Lamar.
Sure.
Did he go Burrow?
He went Burrow.
Disrespect to Lamar.
Yeah.
Who's number 2?
Lamar.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Did he put Deshaun above Fields and Wilson? I'm guessing no by that answer, by your face.
He put Russell Wilson ahead of Deshaun Watson.
Clickbait. To be fair, Russell had a better season.
And he said, I'm sure there's more than a few people who would be surprised to see Watson below Wilson, but last year's statistical evaluations of both players made that decision rather easy. Russell Wilson bested Watson in just every category prior to Watson suffering the season-ending injury. Watson has yet to return to his Pro Bowl form, while Wilson, despite getting benched late in the season, could be considered a bounce-back candidate after a rough 2022 campaign as well. All right, number 2. Running backs.
This is with no Nick Chubb, I take it.
So he's in this, but you got to remember it's a collective, okay? So you got Chase. I'm going to give you the
even if it's a collective, it's not even
It's
close.
like Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford,
I guess Ravens got
Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Zach Moss, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. Who do you think he put at number 1?
Ravens.
It is. No. It's not. It's the Steelers. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. Number 2, Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford. Number 3, Derrick Henry. Number 4, the Bengals. I'll buy that because I'm putting that Maloik on Derrick Henry. I don't think he's going to be what everybody thinks he's going to be there.
No, and that was my stance before he even got traded. I told you that. That doesn't move the needle for me. It doesn't scare me.
All right, wide receiver rankings, AFC North, CBS Sports. Number 1.
Clearly the Kentucky Bengals.
That is correct. Number 2.
Should be the Browns.
It is. Number 3.
Should be the Ravens.
It is. And the Steelers are at 4. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, 1. Cooper Moore, Judy, 2. Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar. Zay Jones got suspended. Not Zay Flowers. Zay Jones got suspended. And then George Pickens, Van Jefferson at 4. Ugh. Yeah. How do they not have Brandon Ayuk yet, by the way? I don't know.
They need him.
All right, next group, tight ends. Ranked AFC North tight. I feel like we've always had a really good division of tight ends.
Yeah, we have.
We always have. Number
Ravens.
1. Yes, Mark Andrews.
2 should be the Browns.
It is. David Njoku.
And then 3, probably Fryer move.
It is correct.
And then 4, who even is the Bengals tight end right now?
You want to guess?
Is it still, well, it's not.
It's a new guy.
Yeah, it's not Irv Smith anymore.
No.
Trent Irwin?
Nope.
No, he's a receiver, I think. Who is their tight end?
Because he's a white receiver.
Mike Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki's correct. Mike Gesicki's there now, too.
Who hit the nastiest gritty I've ever seen.
He does a good one. Too bad he doesn't score a lot of touchdowns for that. Offensive line, AFC North. Send that to the Bengals, guys. Offensive line, best in the AFC North.
Browns.
That is correct. Number 2.
Oh, okay. I will go with Steelers.
No.
Bengals.
That is right. Then the Steelers. Yeah. The Ravens are very clear. Isn't that something? Yep. That it is literally the Browns who are pretty good, and then all 3 of them are pretty bad, to be honest with you, on the offensive line.
Big gap.
They're right. For now, the Bengals' more seasoned unit is ahead of the Steelers' offensive line that has potential. Pittsburgh has 3 promising rookies: Zach Frazier, Troy Fontana, and Mason McCormick. Broderick Jones, who looked pretty good at right tackle last year, and then Isaac Samulo, James Daniel. Cincinnati has that solid core with Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, Cordell Volson, and Orlando Brown, which is just crazy that they still haven't capitalized when they went kind of all in to get Orlando Brown. When they sat there and wanted to get this and invested so much, they're still not all that good. And then, of course, with the Ravens, it's like, and they get Amarius Mims, excuse me, there with the Bengals. And then just the Ravens have nothing outside of Ronnie Stanley, who's, no, Tyler Linderbaum is very good. But they got injuries questions there. All right, to the defensive side of the football. Defensive tackles, specifically. It's not they say defensive line, but then they went edge rushers. So defensive line for the AFC North.
Oh, so it's just D-tackle.
Just D-tackles.
Okay, well, Matabuke is the best, so Ravens.
Ravens are correct with Pierce and Broderick Washington.
This is where it gets maybe a little bit.
I think these rankings are correct, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Browns?
No. Cam Hayward, Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton. Okay. They're Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris are 3rd. B.J. Hill, Sheldon Rankins
Bengals got to be
4th.
last.
Bengals are dead last. They are on that.
I'll listen to that.
Edge rushers.
Right. So this is because I would say as a unit, listen, Miles is better, but you got TJ and Alex Highsmith.
You're correct. 1,000%. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith 1. Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith 2. Ravens are 3 with Odafe Owe and Kyle Van Noy, and then Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are 4th. I think, again, it's like I talked about the offensive line being pretty bad. I'd take almost any one of those groups. Maybe not the Ravens so much, and I do crap on Trey Hendrickson a lot, but pretty solid edge rushers. Linebackers?
Would they still got Roquan? So I'm going to go Ravens?
No.
Really?
No.
Did they... Bengals don't got nobody.
Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, number 1.
Really?
Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, 2. Roquan Smith, Trenton Simpson, 3. And then J.O.K. Hicks and Bush are 4.
Yeah, but I'll listen to that.
I guess. They said often overlooked, the Bengals' dynamic linebacker duo gets it here. They've been the cornerstone of the Bengals' defense for years. Wilson and Pratt are complete players who each made key interceptions during Cincinnati's Super Bowl run in 2021. Queen is a Pro Bowler, and he's looking to prove that he can play without Roquan Smith. Of course, we know Roquan Smith now over with the Ravens. Or no, without Patrick Queen. Sorry, the other way around. Patrick Queen over with the Steelers. Can Roquan Smith play without him? Actually, that statement goes for both those guys. They got to figure out if they can play without each other. Cornerbacks in the AFC North.
Cornerbacks. Okay. I think it should be the Browns.
They said it's a layup. The Browns are number one.
Right.
Ward is one of the best cornerbacks. They actually put Greg Newsome. They didn't even put MJ Emerson on this list. To go with Marlon Humphrey, Brandon Stevens, Ravens 2, Joey Porter is 3, Dante Jackson with the Steelers, and Cam Taylor and Jax Hill was 4. Final thing, we'll save the coaches for hour 2. Safeties in the AFC North.
Safeties. Well, it's got to be the Ravens.
Don't overthink it. Kyle Hamilton, because he's the best safety in the division. Yeah, that's a shot at Minka, but it's true.
Then I guess Steelers.
No, Bengals with Geno Stone and Von Bell. Not bad.
Miss me with that.
Then Minka Fitzpatrick and Deshaun Elliott, Grant Delpit, Juan Thornhill 4th. Again, I think a pretty solid group overall for the division. Special teamers. They put Ravens at 3. Steelers are 1. Then the Browns. Then the Ravens. Then Evan McPherson and the Bengals.
Got some love for the punters,
I guess. We'll get to the coaches in hour 2.
Hey, Charlie Hewlett, bro.
It never misses, man. He never misses. All right, excited to talk to Evan Abrams. He's going to join us here in a couple of minutes. He's, of course, from the Action Network. He is their media and research director. And really, I wanted him on because he has his college football primer out there. Betting trends, stats. I want to talk Georgia. I want to talk Ohio State. We might sprinkle a little bit of pro football when we get to it, but really college football heavy with Evan Abrams, who's going to join us right here on the show. You can follow him on Twitter.
Oh, he's here, baby.
Let's do it. Evan's joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at Evan H. Abrams on Twitter. He's a great follow. Evan, really appreciate you here on the show as we're getting ready to go for college football. We're in Cleveland. We're big Ohio State fans. Do you like the 50 against Akron? I actually kind of like the Zips and the points this weekend, Evan. 50 is just such a coin toss. You never know how that's going to go.
Evan, your mic's muted.
Oh. Is it on us? We've had technical difficulties
go.
today. We good, Evan?
Now we're back.
All right, we're back, man. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yeah, awesome being here. Football season, pumpkin. You feel the cold weather a little bit. I'm in New York City, so right now it's not so much. Still heat wave, but we're going to get there. But let's talk Ohio State Akron, like you were saying. It was up to 50 and a half. I saw some 51s, now down to 48.
Ooh.
So you're starting to see a little bit of buyback on that side. But when I was looking at that 50 number, so Ohio State's played 63 games under Ryan Day, 33, 27, and 3 against the spread, pretty mediocre. But he'd only been a 50-point favorite once, and that was against Rutgers in that road game in 2019. So we were looking at some history initially, probably won't get there. But if you look historically, so Bet Labs at the Action Network, we have data for college football since 2005. College football favorites of 45 or more, just blanketed, are just 71, 97, and 42%. So overall, not the best bet. I liked Akron. I think anything over 49, which tends to be like that touchdown key number up there, pretty good. But if you just look at Day, he's actually done a decent job with these big numbers. So 38 or more. He's had 7 games. He's 5-2 against the number. And the 2 losses were just about by a touchdown or so. So won the game by about 30 plus. So from Ohio State's point of view, I think it's going to be a tight one. The number seems a little right. Yeah,
I like it a lot, too, just with that big number. And again, I know Rutgers should be better than Akron, but this early in the season, Evan, I like it because Ohio State wants to play a lot of their other guys. You know, Akron's going to start all their guys for the whole game, and you know, this is a big Super Bowl kind of thing for them. So I'm with you. I kind of like Akron a lot for this game coming up. Big picture, you know, we're here in Cleveland, so obviously we're big Ohio State fans. At this point, for the national championship,
sure,
is it even worth it? Because the odds are so, I mean, it seems to be a runaway now with them and Georgia. Just your thoughts on the season. I know the over-under is in double digits for the wins. You know, we're jaded because we're Ohio State fans. Evan, I do it every year, man. I'm like, oh, I see maybe one loss here. It's never how it goes. How do you like this season and any bets you like overall for the Buckeyes?
Just tough overall. So it was like 5-1, 550 earlier in the offseason. Now you're looking at plus 325 at prominent books, with Georgia only sitting at 3-1. They're expected to be undefeated. Their win total kind of tells you 11. They're about to be undefeated or 1 loss in that area. So trying to pinpoint when you would come back and take that price again, since this price is just going to fall as long as they win games. The difficulty is, you know, Ohio State hasn't exactly been the most confident team to bet on when they are favorites, right? Like they won the title, they were 40-1. They were the team that shouldn't have won. And then every time they should win, they tend not to like get to the final game and get there. So in my opinion, with this price, and probably even with the price in Georgia, especially with the playoff and the fact that you're going to have more games leading up to the eventual crown, the short prices just aren't something I'm interested in. Because I do feel like you're going to have more opportunities to bet on the team or against them later on based just off the new schedule, which I think is an opportunity for bettors, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, to cut you out there. It's a great point, too, because what you would take and say, okay, I'm going to place a wager on the season for the totality, you're better off actually just going after the games, right? You're just better off trying to get some, get your better lines, get your better odds on your game by game. Now, again, you got to be smart. That's why you need to check out the Action Network. I love your guys' stuff, by the way. I mean, you guys are so good, and I love it because we're in this world now where there's so many different books, and you guys collect it, and it's like, again, it's not a lot of variance sometimes, but I like being able to see that your guys' content is so good on that. So it's like, again, Ohio State fans, you want to place that bet for Big Ten champions and probably better odds there with Oregon, but you're actually better off just playing this out game by game and playing the season as you go, as opposed to the short odds that you have with their season totals, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. And the one thing you mentioned, which I don't know how many times I can actually say this, but please just get a lot of sports books, have a lot of outs, find your best line. I mean, that is the best handicap, is finding the best price. It's part of the bet you're going to make. So definitely do that. And yeah, with all these prices, and we can talk Heisman again in a second, I do kind of like Oregon. So I do think there is some openings here a little bit for Ohio State if you like them to bet them at some point in the season. Now, granted, they're as close to an NFL roster we might be seeing. They are really talented. They're going to be really favored in a lot of these games, but I still think there might be an opening or two.
And also, like, again, what I would like to bet on the season, just hold. I know it's tough because you want to build your bankroll and you want to get the season roll. Just if I was going to put $20 on it, hold that for the Big Ten championship game, and then just take the spread. That you're going to get better options on that. Evan Abrams joining us. Check him out on Twitter, Evan H. Abrams, and of course, Action Network, who's got it all. You mentioned the Heisman odds, and this is one that I always think is interesting, Evan, because as season starts, and what do we all say? You go, oh, there's only 5 guys. There's only 5 of these guys that are going to win it. And granted, you get some fluky ones, but I would have to say, just even looking back on it, there's been some craziness that has happened, but you sit there and you're like, I don't even know if I like Will Howard, for Ohio State, because I think a knock on him would be, dude, look at all these players and look what's going on. I certainly get Quinn Ewers. I certainly get Carson Beck. What is your vibe, your take there on the Heisman odds starting the season off here?
Yeah, so the first thing is the odds come out very quickly. Michigan won the title. Sorry to say this on the show.
That's
and then basically the odds came out like a week later. Now, Ewers and Beck started out as the favorites. Now, Gabriel's moved up to 5-1. Ewers is there, like we said, Will Howard. I made 2 bets. So I'm on Gabriel, which I got at about 758-1. And I bet Milroe at 14-1. A few things about the Heisman, like you said, you might get an outlier here or there. But in the last decade, 8 of the 10 Heisman winners appeared in the college football playoff. The only exceptions were Lamar Jackson and Caleb Williams, and both of them literally lit up the world. They were different talents that I don't think we expected to see. Potentially, maybe with Caleb, we did. So I think with those types of bets, you're trying to get someone who's, I don't even care if they start strong or not, because those people who throw 6 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks usually don't end up being there midway or at the end of the year anyway. So this is more of an investment down the line. I just think Oregon is the good bet. So I do like Gabriel in that sense. And I think Milroe's a little bit underrated in this form. I think there's a chance that he's going to be in the race later in the year. And I think that 14-1 price is a little extended. And that's the same thing I think with Gabriel, as I think he's going to be near the top at the favorite. I think that 8-1 price, maybe you'll get up to 10-1 at some point, but if the Ducks play the way I think they're going to play, I think it's going to get under that number. And there's also easy ones, right? Like, we're only talking about quarterbacks here. Running back hasn't won since Derrick Henry in 15. Obviously, defensive players, 97. So this is probably the direction you should be headed. And to me, the only other person I even looked at, and we talked about this on actionnetwork.com, is Kansas State and Avery Johnson. I thought that was a bit of a long shot. That was written up by Mike Calabrese, who works for us. So I think that might be like, if you want to look longer, hopefully the odds come in on you. But to the two favorites, those are the kind of the guys I like.
Yeah, no, and then there's obviously you get it rolling and you can maybe get a cash out if you really think it's going to turn bad for you and see kind of how it plays out. To the playoff, which I think is going to be so different this year, Evan, about the betting, because back you'd be like, okay, when it was 4 teams, it was fun and you could sprinkle it and you could do some parlays to make it. Now with the 12, I actually think this might be one of my favorite things to do. And again, the odds on Ohio State and Georgia and some of these teams are just astronomical. But if you could sprinkle them in, if you can get the parlays, I know some things, some books would say, hey, this impacts the others, so they won't let you do it. But just how do you think the playoff is going to change betting, or do you like anything that you could place on some bets, or even maybe some sleeper teams you like to sneak into that top 12?
Yeah, so I believe this kind of opens up the college football betting landscape to look a little bit like March Madness in terms of the portfolio you would consider building. And I also think this is just the start. As you add more teams and you figure out the structure of the tournament in itself, especially the one and done aspects, and especially if you get those top teams in those games like Ohio State and Georgia who have such low odds in a one and done format, you're more likely to find upsets if you look at a larger sample size, say in a few years once we've had a few teams. So I do definitely believe that maybe 1 or 2 years ago, especially like if you go back to the BCS, it just wasn't worth talking about the Liberties or any team really outside 20 or 30 to 1. Now, I think the landscape has completely shifted. So I am with you. I think this is the most excited we should be about potentially putting a flyer or two out there. I mean, if you're looking at the board, I think a team like Kansas State at 80 to 1, at Tennessee at 35 to 1, looking at the board now, those are kind of the two teams. USC, I like them against LSU, so 80 to 1 to me, at least to start off on the right track, would be interesting. But yeah, less games, more games at the end of the year. I think it's really going to help some of these shots.
You mentioned some teams there. Evan Abrams joining us from the Action Network. Is there a team that you're kind of fading this season, you're not buying, that it could be in the top 12 right now, or a lot of money's coming in on that you're just saying, you know what, I don't like their chances to make it there?
I don't know. Texas and Ole Miss. Everyone is on Texas. It is Texas's year if you talk to almost anybody working in college football right now. But to me, the odds are a little short. And I know some of the stuff around Kiffin and him covering spreads, but that doesn't always work into the mix. So I feel like those two teams being under 20 to 1 when you're talking about with the Georgias and the Ohio States, and we've talked about what I feel about Oregon. So those two teams, it's not like I don't think they can get there, but I kind of feel like the odds aren't in your favor at the moment, considering that they're being projected near the top.
To this weekend, Evan, we got LSU, USC. LSU is the 4-point favorite there. You got Notre Dame, Texas A&M. You got the Aggies -3 there. We have Florida, Miami. Miami's 2.5-point favorite there. And then probably the other big one is Clemson, Georgia. Georgia 13.5. Can't get it at 14 right now. Any of those games that really kind of wet your whistle you like? Obviously, we talked to Ohio State. We both like Akron. Of the big games coming up this weekend, is there one that you got circled?
I'll talk about one A and 2 here. So one, we talk about the Trojans. I talked about them a second ago against LSU. I like the number. I think they're good as dogs. The funny thing historically is they're not. So over the last decade, USC is really, they're 5-26 straight up and 10-21 as underdogs. A role that virtually they never played previous years, but now all of a sudden they're in it. I kind of like the number. I like the team. Throw away kind of the things you've seen in the past. So I do like USC, and the Clemson number is just really difficult for me. I touched 14.5. I would touch 14. I wouldn't touch anything under it. Clemson is just never this big of an underdog in any circumstance. I believe, looking at the data, in the last decade, they've only been this number once. So to me, I'm betting numbers, not teams. And I know that's a little on the edge for some people, but for me, that 14 is fun. So I'll sprinkle there.
You know, another thing that I was reading through on, you guys had on the Action Network, I want to make sure I can kind of pull it up. You guys had a great write-up about the over-under numbers in college football, and it was talking about, here it is from you guys, right? Since the COVID season, the over-under totals have been dropping, not only in college football, but certainly in the NFL. And the change between 2020 and 2023 saw an 8% decrease on the college side and near 11% decrease on the NFL side of things. And then you had another one on the Action Network, games starting at 10 p.m. Eastern or later over the last decade. The under is hitting at 56%. And since 2017, those games are at near 58% hitting on the under. So I just want to sprinkle that in, talking about college, where we see a lot of these gaudy numbers, but you guys got some good research playing the long game here, that these numbers are coming down. And again, you're going to have some games that it's very clearly, the over is the play, but you got these numbers coming down, and it's getting backed up that the scoring is coming back down as well.
Yeah, that's so I think you're talking about two separate things there. Number one, with the average over-under falling both across the NFL and college, I think we might have hit a basement. And we're really early right now, so I don't even really want to look at like week 0 and week 1 averages and stuff like that, because I think we need to wait a few weeks to kind of see how previous seasons have compared. But I maybe think we've hit a basement in the sense that you did talk about it. 2020, 2021, 22, 23 have all seen totals come really like crashing down. And from an NFL perspective, just hear me on this. So 2020, 48.3 was the average over in the NFL, highest mark in the wild card era since 1990. And now last season, 43.1 was the lowest mark since 2010. You have a shift of 5 points with a total just below 50 is an insane amount of points to be falling in just that amount of time. So I think we're really just seeing a shift in how the game is played in terms of offense. And I think we saw so much offense so quickly, we maybe jumped the gun a little bit. And I think in terms of that second stat you said, inflation. Everybody is betting those numbers up throughout the day. I maybe want to look at this. I would love to be interested to see how that opening number does against that closing number with that trend, because my guess was that opening number would be even better of a percentage, because I'm guessing that those late games just get bumped up.
I think so. It's because people sitting there all day betting. Maybe you did lose a wager or two, and then you're sitting down like, all right, this is my last chance for the night. And like, who loves, nobody likes betting the under. Like, of course, going to bet the over.
If you're going to do Hawaii, you might as well do Hawaii in the over.
Exactly right. You want to sit down and enjoy your evening for sure. Flipping over to the NFL, you had a great tweet a couple of days ago where the Jets are currently the favorite to win the AFC East at plus 160. It'd be the first time they enter the year as a division favorite since 2002 when the playoffs expanded. There's only 2 other teams on that list that haven't been a division favorite in the preseason in that span: the Washington Commanders and our Cleveland Browns. Evan, when you look at the NFL side of things, either there's just some favorite bets or kind of even, listen, man, I'm a Browns fan through and through. I wouldn't put money on the AFC North. I think it's a revenge tour coming from Joe Burrow. I put Maloik on Lamar Jackson every year, and he always just sticks it to me. But biggest bets you like on the NFL side of things, whether it's division winners, playoffs, anything on the NFL side of things you're really liking for this season?
I'll talk about the Browns just for 30 seconds, just because we're sitting here. But plus 550 odds to win the AFC North, highest since 2018. I'm not a believer in the lower odds of Cleveland. I think there's some things with Cleveland you can take in terms of potentially best record or some like really, really outlandish things on Cleveland's side if you want to look at their upside. But I do believe they're probably in that 3rd spot in the AFC North. I like Pittsburgh in 4th. I like their win total under. That is my bet. I'm going anti-Tomlin this year. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I think Pittsburgh is finally in line to not have their over 500 finish. They've gone over their win total, I believe, 9 of 11 years under him. They've done like an incredible job. But one of my bets I do like is Pittsburgh under. I do think if you're going to bet the Browns, there's going to be opportunities. Like I actually kind of like Cleveland in week 1 against Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas tends to really, and I mean really, struggle on grass. And I think this situation, getting CD back this late in camp and really not doing anything to the roster, I do think Cleveland's number is about right. There's something also wrong with Deshaun Watson, which gives me the ultimate kind of pause whenever I look at them, because I just haven't seen the offense click. And I obviously know Chubb. There's certain things that kind of give me a little pause as well, but I think the number is right with Cleveland. So that's definitely one bet that I am looking at. In terms of just week 1 in general, I think the bet that I made in the preseason, I've made up to about right now where I'm kind of having pause is the Jets.
Okay.
We're getting down to 4. Anything under 4 to me is an absolute no. I really want the 4.5. Now, forgetting the trend, which I'll give you anyway, which is since 2000, loser of the Super Bowl is 10-14 straight up, 5-19 against the spread in that opener. And San Francisco hasn't exactly, they lost at home to the Cards as 6.5-point favorites in 2020 after that Super Bowl. So you kind of have a little bit of history there, but I just kind of like the number again. It's numbers over teams a little bit for me. So if you find the 4.5, it's the play. And I kind of like the Jets in this spot. Now, I think week 2, week 3, week 4, the Jets have a brutal opening to the season, but there's no brutal opening to this. I mean, they've been waiting for months to get this game started.
For sure. Evan, outstanding stuff, man. Tell everybody Action Network. Again, I love your guys' content. It's out there. It's great. I just love it because there's just so much across the board.
Appreciate it.
It's almost, again, I know everybody's doing content, but you guys are literally just kind of here in the middle. And you're like, here's our stuff. We're going to try to help you guys out. We're not with the book necessarily. It's what's the best. But tell everybody what you guys have coming up here for football and why everybody needs to be tuned into the Action Network.
Yeah, man. We have a great app. ActionNetwork.com is the website. Action Network app is the app. But all I have to tell you is this. We cover every sport. We cover it from the bettor's perspective. It's free. Check it out. I'll be doing tons of shows every Sunday, every Tuesday on the Action Network podcast. And it's here. It's football started. Get it going.
Love it. Evan, really appreciate your time. Easiest thing as well, just follow Evan on Twitter. Evan H. Abrams on Twitter. He's a great follow. He's got it. Hope to talk to you again, man, when football gets rolling. Enjoy the college this weekend. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
See you later, man.
Love it. Evan, I'm writing, dude, all that. And the best thing is I can just go back on I'm talking about apps. Action Network app is great. I'm going to go back on our app, right? I'm just writing these down. Like, okay, he likes the Browns here. All right, he likes that. Like, I love it, man. That insight is so great because, listen, we all enjoy betting. And obviously, you need to bet responsibly and be safe. I was going to ask Evan about that. About overall, just, Ryan, we're still so early in this state of Ohio that I forget, and I'm doing a disservice out there to some people that still might be very novice to this. And I tell you what, next week we got to do this. I want to talk about how to bet football with people. And it'll be the smallest little thing. Like, you don't know what a spread is. We're going to explain that to you. What's a prop? What are differences? Like, even when Evan was talking about at the Action Network, all the different books, you might be saying, well, what does it really matter if I get 110 at DraftKings versus 120 over here at FanDuel? Well, that stuff kind of matters, right? So that stuff's so interesting to get to. And I meant to get that with Evan about just kind of some parameters that people can put in place. I've got some of my own that kind of help just on betting limits and how you can still be enjoying and fun. But what I was going to say is, we slap some bets up on the wall and see how it goes to get that insight from people that really know to kind of, and again, anything can freaking happen. But some of those stats he was dropping there, some of that over-under stuff, which I found really interesting, is that the unders are tanking. And sometimes it gets bet up. Again, every game is individual. But that was really great stuff with that. We're going to have him on again. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think tomorrow, Matt, we should make our college playoff prediction.
We can do that.
And then next week, obviously, NFL.
Here's what I want to do. And again, we're open to a book here, so we're all over the place with it. I want to go, can I place 6 teams to make the playoffs? Can I parlay that?
I would assume there'd be a way.
Because, there seems to be a dummy...
I mean, you could always just pick, the 5, or I guess not even more. Pac-12 isn't even really a thing anymore.
Right.
But yeah, all your conference winners.
Like, I want to go, okay, wait, to win outright, to make, okay, here we go. To make the playoffs. Akron, plus 30,000. All right, let's go. So, Alabama is plus 100. Can I parlay that with Clemson? No, they're going to make me do different ones. Yeah, they won't let me do it. Damn it. Georgia, okay, hear me out. They're minus 600. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that.
Just to make the playoff. Yeah, wow.
I'm not saying that's free money. $50 wins me $8. So it's not like it's huge, but I should never say the word free money.
Are you still, after having Evan on, are you still taking Ohio State to win the Big Ten? Can you separate your homerness?
See, like, okay, so here's the thing. Just on this book, here, I'm going to go win conference, okay? Let me get you the Big Ten conference right here. Oh, Ohio State's plus 150.
To make the playoff?
No, to win the Big Ten. No, they're minus 750.
Right.
They actually have better. They have Georgia is minus. Nobody is a bigger favorite to make the playoff than Ohio State. Ohio State is minus 750. And Georgia was minus 600. Actually, wait, I'm sorry. I'm selling Oregon short. Stand by. To make the playoff. Yeah. Ohio State is minus 750. Georgia minus 600. Oregon minus 300. Texas minus 220. So that's just to make the playoff. To win the conference, you have Ohio State at plus 150. I think with those odds being that low, I'm going to hedge it. And let's say I would place, I don't know, I don't bet crazy. Let's say I'm going to place $25 on that. Ryan, I feel better about just taking my $25, sitting on it for 4 months, and when the Big Ten championship gets there, betting on Ohio State, who, again, could be. See, the problem is they could be a giant favorite, and then you lose it. But then, I guess here's my point. Just take the spread. Plus 150, I'll just take my minus 110 on the spread and bet that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm fanning a little scared on that. I actually have a boost right now on Bet365. It's boosted to plus 175 for Ohio State to win the Big Ten. So yeah, definitely check that out. And I want to promote it again. Their app at the Action Network is free. Some of this stuff, you get into it, they want you to pay, all that kind of stuff. They got great content. They got great insight. As we get really into football season with the betting, Action Network's where it's at. So I really appreciate having joined us. He's a good follow on Twitter as well, with everything going on. All right, what do you want to do? We got a morning update. Do you want to get to it? Do we cover kind of all the stories you got?
There's not much of an update.
Okay.
The only other thing I had was some news about the portal.
What do you got on the portal?
Yeah, real quick, you little mini morning update.
Mini on a Wednesday.
Got to play the music.
You got to play
it's
the
a
music.
staple.
It gives me happy.
Well, they announced college football spring transfer period is officially in danger of being eliminated.
Good.
Under their proposal, the 30-day transfer window in December would become the lone opportunity for FBS and FCS players to enter their name in the transfer portal and seek a new school.
So, I look at it from this standpoint, it is now such the Wild West. Here's what's going to happen with the NIL, with the transfer portal. It's going to circle back around. It's like a boomerang, right? It's going to come back where they're going to start limiting this, as I think they should. More limitations, better. The more limitations I think you could put on this to try to rein it back in, I should say, I think that's good. So if they want to eliminate this version of it, good. You know my stance, man. I truly, when you graduate high school, you have 5 years to use up 4 years of eligibility. You take a red shirt because you get hurt, fine. You got 4 years left. You tear your ACL again, sorry, man. Or woman. I don't know what to tell you. To be a basketball player, a tennis person, I'm sorry. That's the roll of the dice on this. You want to transfer, you get a one-time transfer for free. You do it again, you got to sit out of here. Do it. Start curbing some of this crap, man. And I know Ohio State, who I'm a fan of, was, and I'm saying this as somebody who probably had the best offseason for transfers, right? And I'm still sitting here saying to limit this stuff. So I think that needs to happen 100%. But we'll see. They got to play that out. But yeah, I don't want to talk about main guards. We'll get to our bets with them. We got to come back, man. We got it.
Well, we're still perfect on the grid.
I know. We got to get that because we got our other giveaway to get to.
Want to do it now?
Let's do the grid. Then we'll break, time hop, bets,
golf
AFC North
giveaway.
coaching ranks.
And
the golf giveaway.
Holy moly, let's get going.
Dude, it's 10:25. Let's roll. Don't forget, at Matt Fontana Show. Should I go retweet it again?
Do it.
I've been spamming.
That's okay.
Spamming it. Sorry, there's my picture of the Blue Angel. What would my call sign be?
Something lame, probably.
So do you know that actual pilots, you know how they get their call sign? It's usually something embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah. They said it's like, you hear cool ones. You all get wrapped up with Maverick and Goose and Iceman. Yeah. There was some of them are named weird ones because of something stupid they did. The one I keep thinking of is an adult reference, if you will. And I'm not saying it on the show. But
All right, then.
usually it's something funny or negative that you do. Like if you slip and fall or something like that. But yes, they're usually not all that cool.
All right.
But the Blue Angel, we're staring at it right here. I just saw an Army helicopter take off. Tomorrow's going to be fun. I saw him practicing yesterday. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the grid. Now, this is a side of our golf giveaway. The golf giveaway's happening.
Right.
We get the next 3 days, and we're on to another giveaway,
Right.
which we'll tell you about coming up in a little bit. Go!
All right, 50 sacks, the Chiefs.
Would it not be Jared Allen?
Yeah, I'm just curious, you think Chris Jones is there?
I don't know.
Probably.
Probably, but I think Jared Allen's got to be the answer there, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did he play for the Chiefs, to be honest?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is Trey there yet? God.
I don't know.
50?
The
Miles,
problem
like
is I
90?
can't think of anybody else who's like a legacy pass rusher for the Bengals,
I don't know.
or even somebody that got traded there.
They're a poverty franchise.
You
I don't know.
I mean, I can't think of another one. Let's just rip Trey,
Right?
right?
I would be shocked if he didn't have 50. I mean, he had what last year? 18? 17?
I guess.
God, sorry, excuse my horrible typing
We're just
skills.
we're just talking this into existence like it's gonna be Trey. Oh, whew. Okay.
Okay, Dolphins. Well, we could go Ndamukong Suh.
we could, but then he also works
the
Dolphins
Buccaneers.
and the Bucks, right?
Can we think of another one for Dolphins Bucks?
I don't think Bradley Chubb is there, right? Kyle
Probably
Van
not.
Noy was another idea that I had. But again, it's like I think he's got 50.
I think we could think of another Dolphins Bucks. There's got to be.
Well, when oh no, he's in Jacksonville. It's not Leonard Fournette. All right, just hold off on that and let's you're right. Let's focus in.
All right, where do you want to start?
Let's just open our minds here. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Kansas City, Houston.
Yep. Okay, let's just go quarterbacks, I suppose. Tyrod, no.
Case Keenum, don't think so. By the way, did you see what they did to Case Keenum? They're putting him on IR so he can get paid for the year to not play. Like a
Nice.
retirement gift, because they said he means so much to CJ Stroud. They go, he's got a foot injury, ain't going to play. Here's IR. You get your full check and just hang
Good
out.
for him.
Good
man.
for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. No, man, there's one that's like gnawing at me.
What
Case,
position?
I want to say wide receiver, but I don't think that's right. We can move off of that. Juju didn't go to Tampa, right?
No.
Okay. I just feel like there's a lot of Kansas City wide receivers that are like swirling in my head right now. All right, let's
quite a
hope quarterbacks. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, you can go Bengals, Texans, you can go Bengals. Does not
Well,
Fitzpatrick.
Bengals, I got one for Bengals, Bucks, Giovanni Bernard.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right, or did he just get there?
I don't know.
No.
I'll believe you. I don't know. I'm not feeling the Gio Bernard there. I don't know. If you're not sure, don't click it.
But I think I am sure.
Okay, then click it. I trust you. Go. Okay. So now, does not Ryan Fitzpatrick work there?
For Bengals, Texans?
Texans or Dolphins Texans? Am I misremembering that?
Am I totally making this up, or did Will Fuller play for the Dolphins?
You are not making that up. You're 100% correct.
Right?
on that.
But he actually played in a game. He wasn't hurt all year, right?
No, I remember him out there. Yeah, go Will
Yeah?
Fuller. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Yep. Okay.
So do you want to go Fitz for this?
Right. Am I not? We're good on Ryan Fitzpatrick there, right?
Did he? I mean, you get lost in all the jerseys.
I know. That's the thing. I think it works.
I mean, Carson Palmer never played. Well, Joe Mixon would work, but not
Joe
yet.
Mertz is not. Yeah, he just got there.
I don't think Tyler Eifert played for the Texans.
Oh, did AJ McCarron? I know AJ McCarron went to Houston. Did he appear in a game for them though?
I don't know.
All right, hold off. At least we have those. Should probably rip some KC ones here.
Casey Tampa. Like, how can I not think of one?
Not Tyrann Mathieu.
Nick Foles. I don't think ever played in Tampa, did he?
Oh. No. I get Derek Brooks and Derek Thomas confused, and they're two different guys. That doesn't work there. Jamal Charles never went down there.
Leonard Fournette never played in Kansas City.
Does Cam Irving work? I know he was in Kansas City, and I want to force him into either actually the Texans or the Buccaneers, former Cleveland Brown Cam Irving. But I don't. Yeah,
All right, let's try and think of Dolphins, Bucks, so we can rip these two. Because we know we could put Sue here.
So like Raheem Mostert, no. Ted Ginn didn't play in Tampa, right?
No.
Okay.
Jason Trusnick, did he ever play in Tampa?
No, he was
You would've
Cleveland.
called that
I know,
a while
no,
ago.
Cleveland Jets and
Jordan
Miami.
Cameron, did he ever play for Tampa?
No, good pull though. I like where your head's at. No.
Mike Gesicki never played for Tampa.
Mike Glennon never played for Miami.
Jameis never played for Miami.
John Lynch never played in Miami. And again, for people just tuning in, we know that Ndamukong Suh. We're just trying to wonder if we can get 50 sacks for somebody else.
Right.
For the Dolphins.
And Jarvis Landry never played for the Bucs.
No.
Has to be some quarterback.
I mean, Mike White, but he's been around the AFC East the whole time. I don't think he's actually gone to Tampa. I don't know about Brad Johnson. Obviously, Baker's not in this.
Sheesh.
Again, it's like the Dolphins. I mean, I would think Kyle Van Noy.
For Dolphins Bucks?
No, for Dolphins 50 career sacks, so then we could just put Ndamukong Suh there. The 50 sacks is maybe where we need to put our head because they're. Oh my God. No! Oh my God! No! There's a Miami pass. No, Zach Thomas. There's no way he had 50 sacks. There's a legacy Miami pass rusher that we can't. Oh my God! He's bald. I can picture his face. It's not Strahan. It's not Julius Peppers.
Is he white or black?
He's black guy. Dude. Jason Taylor. Oh my God.
For 50 sacks?
Yeah. Oh my God. That should not have been that hard. Woo! God, am I an idiot? God, am I an idiot?
Let's cook. Let's cook.
All right. Again.
Did Ryan Mallett ever play for the Chiefs?
No, I don't think so. Well, wait a minute. Can we just rip Fitzpatrick?
For this one?
I know we were debating. I feel pretty confident.
For Bengals, Texans?
Yeah, I feel.
He played for the Bengals? I think he was drafted by the Bengals.
I think you're right.
And did he play for the Texans?
Yes.
You're positive?
Pretty sure.
Oh, no.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. That's okay. All right. All right. We got time.
All right, we got to dig deep for these. I mean, Arian Foster, I don't think he ever played for the Chiefs.
Kadarius Toney, no.
D-Hop, obviously not.
No.
Brandon Cooks never played for the Chiefs.
Josh Gordon never. No, he didn't play for either one of those teams. Noah Brown, no. J.J. Watt, obviously no. I'm just trying to keep,
Philip Lindsay never played for the Chiefs.
No. Did Chad Henne? Did he play at either Houston or Tampa? I don't think Colt McCoy works. Like, I'm thinking of the backups, like Chad Henne. Again, I don't think Case Keenum
What
played.
about Barber? Did he ever play for the Chiefs?
Which one?
The one who played for the Bucs?
Oh, Rondé Barber?
No.
No. Son of a gun.
I mean, Vincent Jackson, did he ever play for the Chiefs?
No.
Shoot. Jerick McKinnon ever played for the Bucs?
No, I want that to be right, but that I don't think so.
Sharkandrick West.
Cortland Finnegan. Did he play in Kansas City? No. Dude. This is a... Oh, my God. We spent too much time messing around with the other ones.
I know.
Spent too much time.
Shit.
I mean... That one, there's something there that's really bugging me.
So Nick Foles never played for the Texans?
I don't think so.
Vinny Testaverde?
No, I don't think so. Like,
Matt Schaub?
no, I don't. I don't think so. If you had to rip one, maybe I could maybe be talked into it, but I don't think so. All right. Kickers?
It's just been Bucker since I can remember.
I know.
Man.
I don't. Dude, we might. All those receivers that they bring into Kansas City, and none of those guys.
I mean, yeah.
Antonio Brown didn't go to Kansas City. Like, same thing. The Bucks brought all those freaking guys in.
Is there a tight end? I mean, the tight ends for
Wes
Justin
Welker,
Watson play for the Tampa?
Who?
Justin Watson?
I don't think so. I think he's been in Houston, or I'm sorry, in Kansas City the whole time.
Is he still there?
Yeah, because last year got hurt.
Did he?
Yeah.
Then what other tight end am I thinking of for Kansas City?
He's not a tight end. You're thinking of Blake Bell.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Blake
Yeah,
Bell.
Blake Bell.
That's probably what you're thinking of. Did he?
Dalton Schultz didn't go there. Obviously, he just got there from Dallas. I would like to just rip one. We should not just give up. We
Okay.
should just rip one.
I mean, what do you want to rip?
I know
then?
that's
Positive Nick Foles didn't play for Bucks or Texans?
pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, I would actually feel better about ripping Chad Henne.
For which one?
I don't know. Maybe the Bucks. Like,
Well, I mean, we're out of time, man.
I know. I don't like it at all. I don't. There's got to be a. Go back to the other one. Go rip Matt Schaub for Kansas City and Houston. I don't think that's right, but I feel better about that one. You're right. We're way out of time. Yeah.
I'll just try Chad Henne for this. Tyrann Mathieu and
Oh my
LaShawn.
God!
I could have got LaShawn. I should have got
said
LaShawn.
Tyrann Mathieu.
I should have got LaShawn.
We didn't even say LaShawn McCoy.
I should have got LaShawn.
Shouldn't even.
I should have got LaShawn. All right, time to go see how roasted we got in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep. Charles, Jason Taylor for the sacks, bro.
That one was the one that, like,
Someone said Rondé Barber. I wonder if that would have worked.
would Rondé Barber worked?
Justin Reed, Blaine Gabbert, Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Blaine Gabbert.
We let chat down.
I'm sorry, bro.
Well, good thing we still got.
No, Rondé Barber. Who's you talking about? He played his whole career with Tampa.
Okay.
That's who you were thinking of. Was Rondé Barber, not his brother Tiki. All right, let's do this. Let's catch our break. When we come back, we'll do time hop quick. We'll get to our bets for the Guardians, and we will be selecting a winner for our foursome on Saturday. It all comes down to this. I'm going to hit the retweet one more time on it. It's going to be the final one to do it. We'll do it all next. Stay with us.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage beer. Beer flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the buyer. Authentic has won the Kentucky
All right, welcome back. We're going to run through timeout. Then we're going to announce the winner of our group of foursomes to our golf outing on Saturday. Get the last-minute retweet in. It can't hurt. Is there you and I were talking about this, right? Hang on 1 second.
Way to pick a winner from Twitter.
I have a website that you can just send the tweet to.
Really?
And it will automatically pick from retweets.
Interesting.
So Google this. Go to your go to an open tab here on Google. Just Google how to pick a winner from Twitter giveaway. And then you should see two websites. One's called Twitter Picker. See that one?
Yeah.
Click on that. And then I think you can scroll down and then put. Do you want to?
I see.
You
I
see?
see
So
that.
put the tweet in there, load tweet, one winner, and then you can even put in must follow the account. And then I don't know how you pick though that they retweeted it. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, do it. Then when you go to entry, okay,
Must follow
at Matt Fontana Show. Okay. Then go up to the top. Can you click over to entries now? See where it says entries? Then
wow.
Is that all people that retweeted it?
Yeah, but it's multiple pages.
That's okay.
Oh, wait, maybe not.
Yeah, and then you just go to the draw. Okay.
So I would just hit begin draw?
I think so.
All right, well, let's wait.
Do you want to wait and we'll do it live? I think that works, right? I think that should work in finding our winners. So we haven't done it yet. We'll get to last. Do it. I want to wait and have you do it. We'll redo that whole thing in like 5 minutes, okay? Because then if somebody like retweeted right now, I want them to be in it, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's run through time hop. We'll do our Guardians bets, and we'll save that for the end. Sounds good.
I did a test because we were going to redo it.
Yeah.
The winner was Big Play Dave.
Okay, that's fine. But then that tells me that it works.
Yeah.
Because he retweeted it, and then we can just do it again, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Exit out of the whole thing, and we'll go back to it.
All right.
Let's do it. Head back on time up, including 1 year ago today Browns made a really good trade. They trade for Dustin Hopkins, 7th-round pick. We get him from the Chargers, and it looks like we have a kicker for the future now, which is great. 2 years ago today, a Mickey Mantle card sold for $12.6 million at auction, becoming at the time the most expensive piece of sports memorabilia ever sold. Now, I say that to say this. Has not that Babe Ruth jersey surpassed that we saw at the card show? That sold for 24. That's got to be the new one, right?
Probably.
Can I Google that quick? Not that we have any time on this show anymore.
Yeah,
but,
we got to roll.
most expensive sports memorabilia. It's that one. It's that one. That is it, the $24 million. So there you go. 3 years ago today, 2021, Kevin Love report he has no interest in discussing a buyout with the Cavs. He had 2 years and $60 million left on his deal. Eventually, they would buy him out, though, right? He'd play a little bit, then they got rid of him. I mean, it is what it is. This day, 1977, Nolan Ryan struck out his 300th batter for his 5th straight season. Never be done again. These are two very important ones. This day, 1963, Martin Luther King delivers his I Have a Dream speech on the March for Washington, not only for civil rights, but job creation. And then this day, 1955, Emmett Till was murdered. His killers were eventually acquitted, which helped spark the civil rights movement. This day, 1955. This day, 1918, Indians player Tris Speaker was suspended for the rest of the season after he assaulted an umpire. This day, 1830, the first ever American-made locomotive raced against a horse-drawn carriage and lost. The horse won because there was mechanical problems with the train. Very happy birthday goes out to, I got a short list on this, Jack Black, Honey Boo Boo, Shania Twain, and Jennifer Coolidge. Most people know Jennifer Coolidge is the MILF from American Pie, but now she's doing all those Discover commercials. And what's the TV show she's in now?
I don't even know who she is. Oh, wait, Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, you know Jennifer Coolidge.
Is she blonde?
Yeah.
I think I know. Was she on Two Broke Girls?
It sounds right. She's in White Lotus.
Yes.
And Two Broke Girls. Legally Blonde, Cinderella Story, American Pie. Jennifer Coolidge there. Celebrating birthdays. All right, a movie and a television show for you today. We start with a TV show. Debuted this day, 2015. This was a streaming television show. And I would actually say, for my money, one of the first, I think this was one of the first, real big streaming-only television shows in 2015. And it's based on the story of trying to take down one of the most famous criminals, really, I would say, in world history.
In world history?
I think this guy is up there as one of the most famous criminals.
Is he American criminal?
No, he's not.
Oh. It's not Peaky Blinders, is it?
No, good show, though, but no.
Most famous world criminals?
It's not like Al Capone.
Right.
But I think this guy's name is right up there.
Like Hitler and stuff?
No, not that. No. He wasn't even a criminal. He was just walking evil. I can't give too much more away without giving the whole thing. I guess we're out of time.
What? On Netflix?
This was on Netflix.
About catching?
It did 4 seasons, and then they reset it with a new series that began in 2018.
Like Mindhunter and stuff?
No.
Osama?
No. You're going off the wrong path. This guy was really big in the 80s.
As a villain?
Yeah, because there was... Okay, what made him a bad person...
Was he a serial killer?
No. What made him a bad person was something that was super popular in the 80s.
Oh, Narcos.
Pablo Escobar, cocaine.
Yes.
Would you not... is he not one of the most famous criminals in history?
Yeah, he is.
At his death in 1993, His net worth in today's money was $70 billion from the, the Median cartel? Narcos. I watched the first couple seasons because Maura Wagner, who played that guy, or Wagner Mora, whatever his name is, that he played Pablo Escobar, dude, so good. He was the best. Wagner Mora is his name. Boyd Holbrook was fine. You know what? I should have said another tip would have been this guy. This was our introduction to an uber famous actor. Now that was our first intro to Pedro Pascal when he played the partner in that. Narcos is correct. All right, we go back to a film based off a super popular television show of my era. I love this TV show. The movie came out this day, 1995. It's about a group of 5 teenagers that all get powers and they fight people from not this planet.
The Power Rangers?
That is correct. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That 95 movie was great. The remake, not so great. I wanted it to be great. I'll try to defend it. I don't know what else to tell you. Speaking of defense, can we get a little today for the guards? I don't want to cop out and take an over-under. Guardians are minus 150 favorites. I'm just going to take them minus a 1.5 because I have to.
Okay.
I need some good momentum going for this game, man. 110 today. Bybee is on the hill against Michael Waka. You should have the edge there. The over-under is a low 7.5. Again, I'm not even going to read you. I'm just literally going to take the Guardians to win. But the over is hit 4 out of Kansas City's last 6 games. They are 10-3 straight up in their last 13. How about this, Ryan? The Royals are 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games against the Guardians. They're 4-1 their last 5 games here in town. Which, again, it's not, we won our last, they're 3, this, whatever. They're on a 7-game win streak on the road. Here's what I'm going to bet, that they've already done their work. You know, today's like a throwaway day for them, and they don't really care. Guardians just 3-9 straight up in their last 12, 2-4 straight up their last 6 games at home. Waka, last 3 starts, 3 straight wins. He's gone an average of 6 innings. He's gone 6, 6, and 7 innings. He's only given up 4 earned runs in his last 3 starts. He struck out 20 in his last 3 starts for Michael Waka. You flip it over for Bybee. He's actually 2 straight losses. So you got to bet that he's going to get back in the win column here. He's got 6, 7, and 5 strikeouts in his last 3 starts. But here's the problem. You know the second best team in baseball at not striking out? The Kansas City Royals. Last 3 versus the opponent. Waka started against the Guardians back in June. He went 5 1/3, just giving up 1 earned run, striking out 6. Bybee actually started that series as well. In fact, Bybee has started against the Royals twice this year. He's got a win and no decisions, 2 earned runs in each of those starts, and he struck out a combined 10 in those 2 starts. Guardians minus a 1.5, Bybee 5.
I'll take it.
I guess I don't like the Royals. They don't strike out. Bybee 4. Give me Bybee 4.
Okay.
On that. Guardians minus a 1.5. I'll take Bybee 4 strikeouts, and then I'm going to do a side bet of under 7.5. I think it's a day game, maybe a little loose. I don't know. I'll take the under. 2 good pitchers out there. So I like the side on the under, 7.5, and I'll take a quick little parlay there. Bybee 4, Guardians minus a 1.5. All right, it is that time.
Are we ready?
Are we ready? I am. So the final entries are in.
Must follow Matt Fontana.
Must follow the show.
I didn't know this was a thing.
I just found it. Now, again, if we get it with somebody who can't win like Dave or me or Ryan, then we'll just do it again.
Right.
You got it? I think. Do you want to pull this up on the screen? You want to do it over there?
I'll pull it up on the screen.
I don't know how it looks.
But I'm going to go to... Hold on. Continue. I'll pull up once we get...
You actually...
Yep. Okay.
I'll tell you what. We'll mess with this in the future. Mm-hmm. I think on that last page, you can go in and take you, me, Dave, and everybody out. I think. But let's not mess with it right now.
All right.
Let's not mess with it right now.
Well...
Okay.
So I think I hit begin draw.
I think you hit begin draw. Here we go.
Drum roll, please. And the winner is...
Ryan, congratulations! Woo! Ryan!
Let's go!
Ryan can't go. We'll do it again.
I will already be there. Drum roll, please.
Redraw.
And the winner is
Ken. Padone! All right, Padone. We'll do it again. I like this, though. It works.
Drum roll, please. And the winner is... Oh, my gosh. What are the odds of this?
The odds of that? That's weird. Okay.
And the winner...
There's not, like, parameters on this. Like, no, right?
No.
No. It's
we're good.
Okay, all right, we're good. Now everybody's got to be out except for me.
I'll crap myself. And the winner is... I don't know. 8 hits.
8 hits. Yes. 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 Congratulations. Can you right? Well, we got it. We got it on the show. We got 8 hits, right?
I believe so.
Can you check his? Yeah. Do that.
Says follows you.
Follows the account. Are his DMs open? Shoot him that
Yes,
DM, buddy. All right. Congratulations. Thank you for everybody that entered. Now, Ryan is literally typing him right now. If he's watching, congratulations. But just to make sure that he can actually make it.
Right.
Because if he can't, I don't know if I want to wait till tomorrow. Can we just wait for a second to see if he might be at work or something. I just want to DM him. Ryan's sending the DM right now. So we'll see. All right. Follow along. If we have to do another one later, maybe we'll figure something out. All right. DM is sent. That's where it is. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Great stuff with Evan Abrams from the Action Network. If you missed it, go check it out. Twitter, YouTube, our brand new app, which is up and you can download. And, of course, Instagram and Twitch. And we'll be back tomorrow, tonight, Wednesday.
Bonus time.
Bruce Drennan will be flying tonight. We'll get you locked in and ready to go. And still, foursomes are available. You can just buy one if you want from bigplay.com. We'll see you at the outing. There's something else we didn't mention. Can't remember what it is. We got to go. Congratulations. Appreciate everybody. Join us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.